Dolls and Boat Floater will be alongside.
Yeah, there goes the pace boat. They should
And
pick
they're
up,
getting
get
them
up
on plane.
Yep.
Coming right at you. So this is kind of a cool angle to see them. We can see the pace boat is still yellow right now. We're looking to see that flag go green. Still yellow. They want to get them lined up. There's one boat kind of hanging back there. Is that that looks like Safe Cash is a little off the rest of the boats, so they may be having a problem.
Yeah, they really want these ones to line up as best they can.
Yeah.
Had some trouble at the last race. Look at the pace boat struggling.
Yeah, the pace boat's flying around pretty good. The driver might want to drop some tab there so they can not beat up the guy holding the flag so much.
I got it. And there goes the green flag. The race is on.
And it looks like Safe Cash is running at full song now, so let's see if they come up from the rear. But X Insurance, Statement Marine on the inside, jumping out to a little bit of a lead. And the Kill Dolls are trying to keep pace alongside. And it looks like that's Fast Boys in lane 3 or lane 4, actually, pulling out to second place.
You can see these boats getting quite a bit of air in front of the fans on the Ocean City beaches. They come around to the start-finish line. This will be the official start of lap counting. 11 laps, just under 50 miles. And X Insurance Statement Marine has the early lead and the inside line.
Yeah, no, they have to hold these lanes through turn 1, and then they can go where they want on the course as long as they're not cutting people off. There is an overlap rule that comes into play. But that disadvantage that because you can see 5 of the 6 boats in your picture, but Safe Cash, for whatever reason, they're on your screen now. Safe Cash X Insurance fell behind, and they're struggling to catch up.
There's your lead pack. All left-handed turns, counterclockwise course. They're down on the south end or heading to it. And turn number 1 off the boardwalk.
Look at Speed Marine and lane 4. That's your boat pulling to the front. And they're brand new Extreme, so they're not wasting any time breaking it in, are they?
Nope. They'll hold a little more speed, but it'll take a longer way around that turn. We'll see how they straighten out as X Insurance takes the pin. Yeah, very close.
And this is the X Insurance helicopter that's providing this, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yep. So there's that was your first. This is a 2-pin turn, so they're just gonna. I'm sure JJ's going to hold that as tight as he can in the Statement Marine X Insurance boat.
And you can see the amount of distance that he gained the shorter way around the course. Nick Buis on the throttles, JJ Turk on the wheel, as now they come down that northbound leg.
And Nick is trying to just keep it level. The whole thing is if you can keep it level and keep it advancing forward rather than flying the boat up into the air. And there's RNS Racing, the bad boy. That's the 32-footer, so they're getting worked out. But this boat always runs level. These Extremes. Britt has done a good job getting the balance right.
There's Speed Marine.
Yep. And I'm not sure. I think
Miller
that's
and Waltman.
And I think that's Fast Boys. Outside of them, out to the right there on your screen. So let's see how the Phantom runs with the Extremes. There's the bad boy again, RNS.
We've got some challenging conditions and no better boats to deal with it than these quick V-bottoms. Good look at the new Speed Marine, then back to Fast Boys as they launch off a wave, resettle.
And the Kill Dolls are on the inside now in lane 2. But out front, still Statement Marine X Insurance. I'm going to get that right one of these times.
Look at the pack from the back. Choppers in tow as they head back to the north end of the course, halfway around, back on up to turn 2. Another good look at our leaders. It's the 2 LSB built boats, the 2 Extreme hulls running 1-2. X Insurance and Speed Marine. Good start for Kyle and Jay.
And now looks like they're coming. They're coming to the inside.
Yep, trying to get to the inside, putting some speed on.
Let's see how this plays out here.
They're going to shut the door on them.
Where's the buoy though? That's the thing. Yeah. Nope. They're holding.
They hold their line. They were able to stay inside. Will they get around X Insurance here? Beautiful shot from the X Insurance Helicam. Speed Marine. And X Insurance coming down as X Insurance gets knocked off its path a little bit. May have scrubbed some speed there, as it does look like Speed Marine has come around.
Whoa. They're
taking
catching
the lead.
some flyers.
They are.
Well, I'm not sure who that third place boat is, but they're really flying. I think that's that might be Fast Boys back in third. Yeah, that the other green boat.
So Speed Marine.
Speed Marine is inside, just off to the left out of your picture right now is still Statement Marine X Insurance. And then just back to the right, I believe that's Fast Boys.
So about to complete lap number 1 of 11 here. And it appears that X Insurance has gone back out in front of Speed Marine as they come back down towards the start-finish line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the visibility's like from inside that, but JJ Turk is very good at defending a line. He's a very experienced driver, so that's number 1, Speed Marine 2. Yep, Fast Boys 3.
They turned that lap at 63 miles an hour, so being very cautious in these conditions here.
Boat Floater 4, Safe Cash 5, and
Speed Marine's down. Speed Marine is off plane.
All right.
X Insurance now pulls out.
Let's see
alone around turn number 1. Speed Marine, Kyle Miller and Jay Waltman had a nice run on that first lap, but did have some engine problems yesterday in testing. And now come on.
Do you know if it was water pressure or?
Never heard, but just heard from race control they were under tow with engine problems.
All right. Well, let's see if they can. These boats don't have the Guardian issues that the electronically controlled ones do. So hopefully, they are allowed to open the hatch and take a look and see if they can fix it without any assistance. But right now they're just sitting and bobbing.
And they're in the course, so
yep,
it'd be interesting to see exactly. Yeah,
there was a patrol boat coming towards them. No, they're under their own power. It looks like they're just moving to the inside of the course.
Very good.
So you have a yellow flag up on the patrol boat, but that's just right near where they are. And there's a Safe Cash boat trying to see if they can use their hull length to get back up and get into contention, but they don't look like they're at full strength, do they?
Just don't look like they're up to speed. They've had a great season. They've been in chase for the national championship in American Powerboat Association racing early this year.
They are in third now because of that boat dropping off.
They are. There's the look at our
leader. And they've got a pretty healthy advantage now over the Fast Boys boat.
Oh, yeah, big air there as they launch off a wave. Recover nicely.
But even there, it settled nicely. It didn't, it flew level.
These Mark Spates designed hulls now built by Britt Lilly at LSB Powerboats. Pretty amazing. There's a first generation Mark Spates Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
One of the very first built, probably the first 3 maybe. Boatfloater.com, Stephen Kildall, the oldest running sponsor that I can think of other than maybe WHM. I mean, WHM is a self-sponsored Billy Moss Plumbing
Company,
Corporation, yes.
Out of Long Island.
That's right, but there's the boys. I guess it's going to be a bad end of the day for Kyle Miller and Jay Waltman.
Yeah, they're waiting for a tow rope.
As we go back to your leader from the X Insurance Helicam, great shots from Rick Lindsay's helicopter with his son Parker Lindsay providing our camera as they come around and run out in front and continue to lead. Looking back at Fast Boys now in Mod V as we complete lap number 2 of 11.
Yep, they've got a comfortable margin right now over the Safe Cash boat. But let's see the boats yesterday. This is where they had their troubles, was coming down towards the finish line, coming off of that north turn with the way this quartering sea was kind of messing with them. And there were some holes, and there's the Safe Cash boat, Safe Cash X Insurance.
This is where the throttleman has his work cut out for him. This is where, when the boat comes out of the water, they've got to be on their game, Eric.
And they're gonna try to run the tabs at least level, if not down farther, to keep the boat level. They don't want to jam the nose in by running too much negative trim, but they want to just have it keep the way Nick's running that boat right there. That's exactly how it wants to run these waters.
So the throttleman will have to lift the throttles, and when the boat gets back in the water, punch them back down and keep that boat up to speed.
Yep. Keep it moving forward instead of getting into a bouncing kind of feel, which you want to avoid. And here's the Fast Boys, the Phantom, still running well. You can see the tabs on the back of that boat are basically level.
Boats continue to hold their speed after lap number 2 through these challenging conditions. This is...
Yeah, the lead is 11 seconds for Statement Marine X Insurance over the second place boat. We'll see if we can get an interval from second to third on the next lap.
Watch this boat flying, launching off of waves 10, sometimes 15, 20 feet forward before regaining contact with the water.
I believe they do have, I'm not sure if they have ballast on that boat or not. I'd have to check. Some of these boats at different times have used ballast tanks in the past, but I'm not sure of the current.
Yeah, and some will just use ballast based on the conditions,
yeah,
the weights in the boat. It all depends on the racing condition, and this is just like every other class of racing. You got to look at the conditions, decide how to set the boat up with weight and what propellers to use. Because other teams are watching these races right now and making their plans for later on this afternoon.
Yeah, they'll be keeping an eye on this to check on conditions and kind of keep up with it. The R&S boat, this 32 Bad Boy, you can see it's a single step, and I did see they have the IMCO drive on that boat. I saw that in the pits earlier today, and they're getting a one-off hull dialed in is not easy. You don't really have any people to call on for help. You're doing it all yourself, kind of like Vinny Diorio in Supercat with his outer limits. But here's the Statement Marine X Insurance team doing what they do.
Great look on board of the boatfloater.com father and son team. Been at it for quite a while.
Yep, Steve killed all throttles, Steven killed all drives, and they added a new sponsor this year, or if not this year or last year, but it's a blaster, which is on the back of the boat there, and they make a PB blaster, which will free up just about any rusted bolt I've ever dealt with.
Oh boy,
Safe Cash, X Insurance is down
in the water. We're just talking about in conditions like this how these boats get beat up and attrition can play in.
Yep. I mean, that's part of it. The way these boats, they get bounced around, they get banged around. So everything inside the boat, the same thing's happening to that. Everything in that engine compartment's getting beat up. So managing it is part of it.
Got a good chance to talk to Stephen Kildall on the radio the other day, and they're just having a lot of fun like they always do. Family affair with boatfloater.com. And by the way, you can catch those interviews if you didn't hear them live on my radio show from Key West on Whale 99.5. That they're loaded in at whale995.com. As you see X Insurance take a huge flyer. Just go to the Bubba Todd Show tab, scroll to the bottom, and click on RWO. And all the interviews here from Ocean City, you can listen to them, share them, download them.
Safe Cash is back up and running.
Good.
Let's see what happens here.
Got that situation straight. They had the hatch open for a brief moment. Now they're back up and running as we look at your number 2 boat, fastboys.com, chasing the X Insurance.
Yep.
Here after 3 laps in the Mod V race, Ocean City Grand Prix. Latest race of the American Powerboat Association National Series. Double points here today.
Yeah, and if you look at the when the boat comes out of the water, you can see that the trim tab has a little bit of a negative application on this boat to keep it level. But back to the Fast Boys team. Ken Bollinger and Forrest Riddle. Did you catch an interval between those two or no?
Did not.
I did not either, sorry. But they look like they're making some time. Let's see if they continue to do so.
Boat floater keeping it level here.
Yep.
They're not flying quite as much. And just as I spoke, looked like they launched off of one. Now, as the day progresses, if the wind comes around as is forecast, which is around 2 o'clock, it's supposed to switch around to the west at about around 14, 15 miles an hour. That may lay this swell down a little bit. But as of right now, it's causing havoc with these Mod V boats, just trying to keep the boats in the water.
I have not seen a third-place boat come. Oh, here's the Killdalls just coming by us now. You see the X-Insurance State Marine boat on your screen, still leading. We're just kind of trying to keep track of the laps as well. So I've got Boat Floater in third and RNS in fourth. And we'll see if Safe Cash comes around. But X-Insurance, Statement Marine, Nick Buis, JJ Turk still out front, still running a smart race. You know, there's also managing the people in the boat. They get beat up too, so you got to run as fast as you're comfortable for the 11 laps.
Nick Buis was looking for a canopy boat. He said when he came right down to it, he thought about it, had a Phantom, and then he realized that Britt Lilly was going to be busy racing Super Cat and Class 1, and took the opportunity to buy this LSB Extreme hull.
Yep.
That last year was in contention, hot and heavy with El Bandito Yankee Tequila for the national and world championship. And
what do they say? Everything's for sale. It's just a matter of the price.
And it is. We'll see Britt Lilly later on today. He is driving the Dirty Money Super Cat alongside Throttleman Bill Pyburn.
Not to be confused with Dirty Dancing.
X-Insurance in the lead from the X-Insurance Helicam. Parker Lindsay, what a great Instagram channel he runs. X-Insurance doing fine work here and supporting so many boats on the American Powerboat Association National Series.
That boat's got a great attitude. They're running it smart. Another veteran team running their boat smart as well as Boat Floaters. They know they're not even halfway done yet.
Oh, it's a long way to go here, no doubt. As we watch the leader come around the north bend.
Yeah. We'll get an interval this time around. Yep, they're taking that flyer just after it seems like yesterday and today. That's the problem area.
Fast Boys is keeping some heat on them, though.
You make that turn, and then it gets bumpy. You got to settle it back down.
Back to your overall leader, Nick Buis and JJ Turk, the 29 Extreme. X-Insurance.
Navigating the conditions really well. And look, Safe Cash back up and running, just got around RNS. So all the positions are still important, especially with double points. That's why you keep running, even if maybe you can't run 100% whenever possible. And they're trying to hunt down the Killdalls for that final podium spot.
For the inaugural race of the American Powerboat Association Series here in Ocean City, it's awarding double points for the first race here in Ocean City in quite a while. There have been several races here in Ocean City, not the first time the boats have been here.
And here comes Fast Boys, who are, I would say, 9 seconds off the lead in second place.
So they were 10 seconds 2 laps ago.
Yep.
So they're staying pretty tight there.
And here is an overtake attempt by the Safe Cash team, trying to come around the outside of the Killdalls in the north turn. And let's see how this plays out, because if that gets them on the podium, then they got to stay there. So this one's far from over for the last spot in the podium, because look at RNS is right there. That's another 32-foot boat. The size of the boat could come to their advantage as the race wears on. 3 boats all fighting it out. Plenty of room. They're giving each other space. Phantom on the left of your screen, Extreme on the middle, and Bad Boy on the right side of your screen. And it looks like the Phantom is pulling ahead as they come to the start-finish.
Well, you imagine that extra length, the 32 feet, was going to help them. And whatever issue they had earlier, it looks like they've gotten that settled.
Yeah, they talked about how their size helped them span the waves in Cocoa Beach, too, where if they didn't finish second, they weren't on the podium. I know that. I can't remember if it was second or third. But Fast Boys is trying to make a run on the outer leg. But here comes, Safe Cash is up to third. It's only about a 2 to 3 second interval over the Killdalls, and here comes RNS.
So Boat Floater hanging in there at number 4. RS
number 5 trying to move up on the inside, and let's see if they make a move here.
Only have one boat out of this race. That's Speed Marine that exited after making a challenge for the lead after lap number 1.
Yeah, it looks to me like RNS is getting inside of them to come up to the south end of the race course. That's going to be a good battle for the last podium spot.
A lot of water to cover, a lot more racing to go in Mod V. Look back to your top 2 boats with X Insurance in the lead, Fast Boys in chase. X Insurance running Tyler Crockett engines and Fast Boys running Gellner engines.
Yeah, Dean Gellner's out of Ohio. And Ken is a fan of his, so
Tyler Crockett.
Nice to see the different engine builders represented.
Yeah, Tyler Crockett. That was the LSB engine that El Bandito had borrowed for Lotto that they were using that blew the crankshaft metallurgy problem. And looks like that I think Steve Miklos is going to continue with that engine and keep the Scorpion engine he has. It's being repaired right now. Have a 2-engine program, one in the bank to use moving forward. He'll be back, of course, at the next race of the APBA National Series in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. That's almost 2 months away.
Yep.
A big break in APBA racing. Teams to get prepared for that next race in Sheboygan.
Yeah, all these guys aren't going to know what to do with themselves on July 4th weekend because they've been used to going to Sarasota for 20 years.
It's going to be strange not covering that race this year, but it's been moved to September, so it has not been canceled. It's just been moved to a little bit less hot month in the state of Florida. Here come our lead boats again.
Yep. Here comes.
I think they've cut that interval down a little bit again.
Fast Boys have cut the interval to, I've got about 4 seconds now, so they're coming. So, and this could be a matter of who's set up for what part of the race, like we always talk about.
5 seconds now.
Yep.
Amazing.
And we see. Okay, that was just Safe Cash. Here's the Killdalls again, boatfloater.com. So we're going to have to see who comes around in third place.
Safe Cash had nosed ahead after having some engine problems. In fact, they were off plane, and for them to scramble back and to move up to third there on lap number 4, pretty impressive for Rick Robb and Scott Jobin. X Insurance in the lead in Mod V here as we look overhead from the X Insurance Helicam. Live coverage on Race World Offshore's YouTube channel and Facebook page of the Ocean City Grand Prix, the next race of the American Powerboat Association, also live here in Ocean City at radiooceancity.com. Here's your Safe Cash boat.
Safe Cash. That's an X Insurance sponsored boat as well. With Rick Robb and Scott Joe. Are we saying Jobin or Jobin?
That's kind of what I was asking.
Yeah. I'd go Jobin because it's not two Bs, but we'll ask him.
I'm pretty sure it was Jobin.
And here's the Kildalls in the boat floater boat. And the thing is like if you talk to Steve Miklos, he says the Extremes all have the same bottom basically. It's just the hydrodynamics and the aerodynamics of the deck design that can. You see the way that deck is, and here we have the 32 Phantom tractor pipes. Give that thing a nice sound, and they're showing why offshore racing is an endurance sport. Stopped, came off plane, checked out a couple things, got back to it.
This is a fun class. And again, 29 to 30 foot monohulls, canopied, single engine, carbureted engines.
I do believe RNS Racing did get past Boat Floater, and Boat Floater's now running 5th.
But your overall leader, Nick Buis and
JJ Turk.
X Insurance.
Nick from the west coast of Florida. Cocoa Beach is home for JJ, and he helps put on the Cocoa Beach race.
Out of the very deep Stateman Marine Camp.
Yes.
Out of the Clearwater area, Stateman Marine.
Nick Buis, Owen Buis, Nick's son-in-law, Ricky Harmeyer. A big family contingent walking around in those black and green shirts.
Take a look at the Phantom, then back to
the bad boy, RNS Racing.
Yep. Who've taken over 4th place here in Mod V. Back to X Insurance and Stateman Marine. Interesting about the Mark Spates design, the original mold, the bottom of this boat has been carried on all the way through the 3 generations. It was designed by Mark Spates, and Nick Buis was a partner with Mark Spates back when they were Supercat Racing. They sponsored a boat that Todd Werner and Johnny Tomlinson raced to a world championship in 2004 in Pro Marine. But the Statement bottom has the fingerprints of Mark Spates on it, even to this day, Nick Buis told me.
Oh, for sure. And it does seem to like to run a little more level than the Phantoms. The Phantoms carry a little more. But they've opened their lead back out because the interval I've got now is about 14 seconds.
So I made some distance on that lap. We're now 6 in of 14, still not quite at the, 11. So we're just past the halfway point.
Yep.
As Fast Boys comes around. Quite possibly Nick and JJ got word from the shore that they needed to put some more speed out there.
Yeah, because they went from, what was it, 4 to 4.5 seconds or so back out to 12.
Yep.
All unofficial. This is just us clocking it with stopwatches, but
and all results here.
It gives you a good idea.
Yeah, all results here, too, are, at the end of the day, are unofficial. These boats have to go back and pass inspection, turn in their data cards.
They have certain tech criteria they have to meet. They can't exceed a certain RPM. Each class has its own little idiosyncrasies.
You've got to hit your these boats put on a show. You got to hit your turns. You got to make your.
You got to count your laps. You got to make your turns. You got to make weight.
Can't hit buoys, so there could be penalties. But we'll call them as we see them, and they'll get their checkered flag at the end of the race for a well-deserved win, but it could be sorted by tech officials at the end of the race. Tremendous response here locally by the town of Ocean City. Beautiful beaches, lots of people coming out for the beginning of summer to watch the races here on the over 12 miles of beaches in Ocean City up to the Delaware border. Lots of families, as you mentioned earlier, Eric, enjoying mingling with the race teams down in the dry pitch, which is what is always fantastic about powerboat racing, how interactive it is with fans. You can actually get down, see the boats up close, meet the drivers, throttlemen, their families. It is a very family-oriented event, and what is a fantastic, fun, family-oriented tourist destination, OC, Maryland. That's Ocean City, Maryland, with the boardwalk and all kinds of great culinary experiences
and
here on the Eastern Shore.
And the teams will set up chairs in front of their boats and, you know, by the trailers and just hang out because they know the fans want to come say hello. It's a great interactive sport in that regard. About the only one that I think is similar to it is for the in the NHRA. You know, you pay to get inside the location. A lot of drag races, and it's very open atmosphere like that as well.
X Insurance in the lead as they dig in.
Yep.
And head back down for the completion of lap number 7.
Yeah, they might be feeling this one tomorrow morning. Whoa. Yep, Fast Boys is trying. They're trying to close that interval, but this is X Insurance Statement's race to kind of control right now.
They can pick their lines.
Yep.
Stay in the clean water. It's we mentioned this yesterday. If you're
new
to powerboat racing, you want to stay in the clean water.
And they're getting lighter as fuel burns off, because look at the tab now that it's more negative. So he's keeping it level using the trim that's at his disposal. But they prepped. I think they made the right call as far as getting the boat to run for these conditions. Oh, look at Fast Boys way towards the beach here, looking for some cleaner water.
They definitely have. They're 4 seconds, but they are way wide.
Yeah, so they're going to have to.
They're
making a long course.
They can carry more speed, but I'll tell you, J.J. Turk is turning this boat.
Yeah,
very tight.
He is a good driver. He learned in that Phantom with Mike Stancombe, and then with Nick, and he's developed over the last few years into quite a driver.
This will be interesting to see how they sort on the back end.
But man, look at this run that Fast Boys is making. It could have been, with the way this wave direction is, that Fast Boys taking that line turned it into more of a head C than a quartering C, and maybe the Phantom runs better that way.
So they came across the wake through
the floater is out.
Yeah, and now have to go back through it again as Nick Buis and J.J. Turk closed the door there on that east buoy.
Yep.
On turn number 1. Continue to maintain their lead.
So we have 2 boats out now.
Now boat floater is out of today's race,
which is too bad. You never want to hear that. But X Insurance Statement Marine is just continuing to show good pace and good setup.
Well, you hear nothing but awe about these extreme hulls from
the guys that run them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was a good move by Nick. A great winning boats available. You want to get into the class, why not buy the best thing you can buy?
And you have to feel like his son Owen Buis is going to end up in one of these boats, whether it's a Mod V boat or another canopied boat.
Yep.
You got a lot of young drivers out there in the factory 450R class as well.
Yep.
So Owen, who will be 16 very shortly, will be able to get into a canopy boat. He, of course, won yesterday in Class 700 in the X Insurance sponsored boat there. Look at this race for first and second in Mod V. This is on the north end. Again, tight to the turn will go X Insurance.
The Fast Boys said that they went out to Lotto to try to show their speed and show that they were contenders, and things didn't quite work out there. So this is them showing what they've got, and they're keeping them honest for sure.
Fast Boys a 30-foot Phantom. They stayed to the inside there. They're going to have to probably cross through a wake here and go to the outside. Unable to really make up any distance there, although they did get close as they headed into turn number 1. Now again, taking that water closer to the beach. They head down this roughly 2-mile straightaway, heading southbound now.
But if you look, I mean, you can't see it so much on the screen, but our vantage point looking out at the course, it looks like it's calming down.
Let's check those winds and see if they've come back around. We watched our top boats in Mod V. Still pretty much southwest at 14 on our last report as X Insurance makes up some distance back to your number 3 boat, to Safe Cash.
Safe Cash, X Insurance, yep. And
the
keeping it together, still holding on to that 3rd spot right now. So anytime you're on the podium, especially with double points, that's a good day.
A little bit extra speed on that lap, 65 miles an hour. They've been running about 63 up to this point.
I got about 7 seconds for the interval there.
So all of that ducking and dodging and protecting the line by X Insurance pays off, and Fast Boys are unable to make any ground. So we look at RNS Racing making the big wide sweeping turn out in front of the lead boats right now, as you'll see them come onto the screen.
So do you think Owen's on the beach talking to them?
Oh, certainly. I mean, I don't know that. I should say certainly, but
he's
got to be involved in a big way.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't met as enthusiastic and bright young man that is. All he does is ingest powerboat racing. From what I heard from Steve Miklos, who shared the story, then I met Nick, talked to him about it, and Owen says that's all he does. He watches old race videos.
Well, if it's not Owen, it could be Cameron Turk, who was last year's world and national champion in 700.
Right.
And Hall of Champions inductee at age 18.
So there was a whole group of young guys that got involved there, and Nick Buis, he blames Michael Stancombe for all the money that he's costed him right now. Because
Dominic. And Dominic is racing go-karts this weekend, sponsored by X Insurance. So we wish him well running around getting hot on the tracks out there in Indianapolis or wherever he's racing.
See X Insurance lapping RNS.
Yep.
Continue to run. They're back and forth overall.
Oh, Fast Boys is down.
Has gone down. Wow. What a nice run they had.
Let's see if they can get restarted.
Ken Bollinger and Forrest Riddle have been running hard, challenging for second. Let's see how they sort themselves out.
Because otherwise this would move Safe Cash up into second.
Yeah, but back to Owen, you got to imagine he's part of the Land Communications back to them, because he's just, it's all he thinks about and loves is powerboat racing. And it's just, again, it's so cool to see all of the young people that are getting involved in this sport. They're going to be the next generation of drivers and throttlemen in this sport for certain, and it's so young. And that type of infusion of energy is fantastic for American Powerboat Association racing.
And speaking of some young people, we'd like to send our best wishes to Ryan Stallman, who was in Key West last year and had a little bit of a situation, and I hope he's doing better. And his dad owns the Predator boat, one of the most popular boats on the tour when it's racing. So we're going to have to see how this class sorts out now as we watch X Insurance, Statement Marine, kind of a battle, winning the battle of attrition as much as anything else.
And I mean, the boat is just running strong at this point. The boat behind it has been lapped.
Yep.
It's been a winning boat this year. It's the overall leader on the APBA National High Points standings, and with this double points race for the inaugural Ocean City Grand Prix, if they get those double points, they're going to be in a commanding lead as we take almost 8 weeks off before heading to Sheboygan, Wisconsin for the next event here on the series.
Yeah, a commanding lead in all 3 classes for the Turks and the Buises.
That's right, Class 500, where Nick and JJ won yesterday. And those results now official.
Yep.
Yep, and Class 700 for
Owen and Ricky Harmeyer.
As here they come, settle the boat down, head across the start-finish line.
No intervals to grab here.
No, not anymore. And we are 3 laps left in this race. For the Mod V class.
Just bring it home at this point.
Back aboard Rick Lindsay's helicopter, X Insurance, sponsored Helicam. With Parker Lindsay shooting the camera. Check out his Instagram page. X Insurance, big sponsor of the APBA National Series.
APBA National Series, but it's cool to see them, because usually you think sponsored boat, you think bigger boat. But it's cool to see them putting their support behind the bracket boats and the Mod Vs, and I think they have a boat in almost every class. I just don't see one in the outboard classes. Maybe they except for 700, but I don't think there's because they do sponsor the CR Racing boat and Supercat. That's an X Insurance boat.
The LSB Extreme hull, 29 feet, Tyler Crockett power, about 650 horsepower. We look back at the boat.
We believe this is the 2nd place boat now, Safe Cash. This could put RNS on the podium.
They may be at the back of the pack, but that puts them on the podium in 3rd place at this point, as attrition is taken out Speed Marine early.
Yep.
Boatfloater.com, and then Fast Boys. X Insurance, what a day, what a weekend here at the Ocean City Grand Prix for the Nick Buis camp out of Stateman Marine, making high performance V-bottoms and catamarans.
I don't know who the crew chief is for the Statement Turk camps, but they deserve a big pat on the back for whoever does the setup and the maintenance on these boats, because knock on wood, they're running consistently and finishing. And that's critical in this sport.
Coming up next, the Super Vs, and then the remaining bracketed boats that we have racing here in Ocean City, 2, 3, and 4. Be another extreme hole out there for the bracketed.
And 400, yep.
Yeah, bracket class 400, the framed offshore team, a Hog's Breath sponsored team out of Key West, Florida.
Yep.
And that's the original LSP boat that Kevin Smith and Britt Lilly ran for so many years, LSP Hurricane of Awesomeness. They're going to campaign that boat this year in 400, and next year get it ready to run with these guys. Bring it back out to the Mod
cool.
Vs. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was also the Twisted V, right? With the Twisted T sponsorship when Travis ran it in a few races.
Yeah, now it's Hog's Breath Offshore with John Jennick and Michael Flamia from Key West, Florida.
And here's your 2nd place boat, Safe Cash X Insurance. Flying it level, bringing it home.
Then the last race of the day is going to be at 2:30, and it's the Super Cats. And boy, we're looking forward to that race. The big 38, 40-foot catamarans with, again, carbureted power. The big 800 horsepower Super Cat engine, so they're pushing, 1750, 1800 horsepower out there on the Ocean City waters, and they'll get underway at 2:30. MCON is your defending champion. WHM has just won the latest race. Dirty Money has been a hot boat this year.
Very fast.
Yep, and Graydell been out the leads and been snake bit the last couple of races. You got 7 real fast boats coming out to run at 2:30 in Super Cat class, which is really the highest level of racing, the most exciting, big motor money sounds of powerboat racing on the APBA National Series. Super Cat racing coming up at 2:30 this afternoon.
No, this should be the white flag lap, right?
Going out one more time. They really took it easy around that time.
They don't typically wave a white flag in offshore, but sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But we've got this as the start of the 10th lap.
Yeah, they cut it back about.
And wow, I can't tell if they're doing a fast tow there. But look at the water they're dumping out of the side of the boat there. See that?
Yeah, they look like they are doing a fast tow.
But it almost looked like there was still water coming out behind the drive. So, well, we'll keep an eye on it as best we can. But, you know, kudos to RNS, still out there running.
X Insurance, your overall leader. They got one challenge from Kyle Miller and and Jay Woltman in Speed Marine, the new LSB Extreme that came out to run with their own custom engines on that first lap, and then the Speed Marine broke down. And Fast Boys made a couple of challenges, couldn't quite catch up to them before breaking down, but it's been their day all day, Nick Buis and JJ Turk.
Yeah, I mean, Fast Boys got within, I think, 4 seconds, but when Nick and JJ would get word that they were getting close, they had some power to use when they needed it. And the fact that they could pull out like that when Fast Boys got close tells you that they've been doing their homework as far as their setup and being able to accelerate when they need to.
Well, we have a moment here. Let's give a special recognition to our medical and safety team, 15 professional EMT firefighters that are the rescue safety crew led by Sean Steinert here that are protecting all of our racers in case of mishap, as well as the United States Coast Guard deployed here helping out in so many ways with the men and women of the Coast Guard and vessels, as well as OCPD and OCFD, the fire department, both on the land and sea, as well as Maryland DNR and the Maryland State Police helping us with this event. Of course, the town of Ocean City, just a spectacular host for the APBA National Series here with the Ocean City Grand Prix. Reese World Offshore, very happy to be here in the OC.
Statement Marine X Insurance, getting close. Just trying to bring it home.
One more turn around the north end of the course, and then to finish this race in front of the fans. You're on the beaches, which you can't see the end of the beaches. That's how long they are here. They turn up to the north, to the coast of Delaware. 12 miles of beaches in Ocean City. And the world-famous boardwalk, amusements, all kinds of shops, and great culinary experiences. Maryland blue crabs at every corner. Find out all the details about Ocean City. Plan your next visit at ococean.com. One more look atop from the X Insurance Helicam as
they make that past that turnboat, that beautiful sport fish boat there. Couple of more buoys. They're hearing every little thing in the cockpit going, what was that? You hear anything? No, we got it. We're good. I'm sure Nick's watching gauges. But they've done this 2 out of 3 times, I believe, to start the year anyway.
Yep, they've just had a commanding run so far this year. El Bandito Yankee Tequila took the win in marathon to start the series. Another rough race in a very different way on the bay near the old 7 Mile Bridge. That's a great one to go back and watch on our Race World Offshore YouTube channel or Facebook page.
But we should be seeing a checkered flag as they come by the finish line. It's up on the pace boat already. I can see it fluttering violently in the wind. So still about 14 miles an hour, southwest wind, but a well-earned victory coming their way.
29-foot extreme with Tyler Crockett Power, winner today in Mod V. The X Insurance Statement Marine team with Nick Buis and JJ Turk.
Now it's just a matter of crossing the finish line and seeing the flag and going. We'll see if you think they'll pass them one in this wind. If they can, they'll get close. They'll try to get it because that's what it's about. And there's your winner crossing the finish line yet again in 2024.
And they'll take a commanding lead in the American Powerboat Association National Series with this double points race, the North American Championship race for the inaugural event here in Ocean City, Maryland. X Insurance Statement Marine. And here comes Safe Cash as they'll make that round at turn number 2 for the last time. They hung in there, battled through, and ultimately will take second place. Again, all of these results are unofficial. These boats have to complete tech inspection. Make sure there were no penalties out on the course, but as we saw it here today in front of the fans watching on the beach and here at Race World Offshore's Facebook and YouTube channels and listening at RadioOceanCity.com, it's X Insurance Statement Marine, the winner in Mod V at the Ocean City Grand Prix.
And you know what that means. If Safe Cash is on the podium, they bring the dog up with them.
That's right. Yeah. There's always dog stories when Eric Colby's involved. He loves, well, you're a dog lover, but you love bulldogs, English bulldogs in particular.
Love the bulldogs. Got my French bulldog at home.
There they are. Winners again. X Insurance.
Yep. Now, here's your. This should be the second place boat. After going dead in the course, persevered. Got to give them credit for those never say die.
Those opening laps were quite spectacular with the groups of boats lined up together, hopping waves.
That Speed Marine boat was fast. They just got to find out whatever that gremlin was, but I'm sure they will.
Those waves continuing to roll in from the ocean, not at great height, but at consistent, tough intervals coming in out of the southeast.
Yeah, just keeping it tucked to the water and let the boat take the punishment, not the people inside.
And that change in wind has just started. Weather reports west at 20 miles an hour right now at Ocean City Inlet. So that may help lay some of this swell down. We'll have to keep an eye on it. There'll be some waves to deal with, more similar to what we had yesterday.
Yeah, yep. It's starting to look more like yesterday as far as I don't see as much white caps. I don't see the waves getting blown off the top. But here's your second place finisher, Safe Cash, X Insurance, with Rick Robb and Scott Jobin. So nice job, boys.
There they are. It's Turk sitting on top of the cockpit. Buis
going to get that flag.
Yep, on his knees on the bow, lining her up.
Yeah.
Tyler Crockett engines were humming today aboard